Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another junk journaling video. I recently went on a week-long trip to Hawaii. It was beautiful, gorgeous, stunning. I spent about a week there with two of my best friends and my boyfriend, and it was the best. I took a million pictures, collected tons of bits and bobs in anticipation of junk journaling every little detail. So it was a jam-packed week, and I'm so excited to share. If I know that I'm going to be doing a series of spreads like this where it's a trip and I know there's several pages and I want them to be kind of cohesive and go together even though each day is going to look different or each page is going to look different, I like to pick out kind of a color palette. So I picked out some of my favorite, or not favorite, some of the colors of Tombow Dual tip brush markers. The name is a mouthful. I picked out some of my markers that I thought kind of fit the tropical Hawaiian vibe, so oranges and pinks and blues and yellow, and I wrote Hawaii in bubble letters so that when I flip through my junk journal I can see clearly this is the set of Hawaii junk journal spreads that I did. And I wanted to kind of do like a wave situation here with some pattern paper while still staying true to the color palette, so I picked out some papers that kind of matched what I had done for the title that I'd written, and I cut them so that I could layer them in a way that makes it look like waves, obviously, because Hawaii is a series of islands, and where I'm from in Canada, we are not on the East Coast or the West Coast. We are not near the ocean at all. So it really was a highlight for me, for us, to be by the ocean every single day. It was super, super beautiful and amazing and just like not my norm. So that was really, why I wanted to emphasize the waves. Also, it kind of looks like mountains, which is another thing that I don't have where I grew up and where I live. And there was a lot of mountains, obviously, in Hawaii, lush, green, beautiful peaks everywhere, and so I wanted to also represent that. It's kind of a double whammy. On this page, or these two pages, I'm kind of I originally wanted it to be day one, but then I couldn't fit everything from day one, which kind of turns out to be a theme because each day we packed full of things to do. There's just so much to do, and so it kind of is a mix or like a little touch of what we did on day one, plus like I put my little flight boarding pass situation there. I put down this receipt from Waikiki Brewing Company, which is where we had dinner on our first full day. I got poke nachos because obviously when you're in Hawaii you need poke for like every single meal. As I start laying things down, like the pictures and the junk that I had collected for this spread, you'll see that I kind of run out of space. There's no space to write anything, any of my thoughts, opinions, where we went really. So I ended up extending day one to the next page. But some of the highlights from the first day, we went to Snoopy Surf Shop. We tried this cafe bakery that was actually in our Airbnb building. We went there several days throughout the trip because the coffee was so good. I loved it. I cut out this hibiscus flower sticker I printed from Canva. I stuck that down. I thought it was super fitting because we saw a lot of those, and I believe the state flower for Hawaii is the yellow hibiscus flower. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not American, but I'm pretty sure that's what I had heard, and they had hibiscus flowers everywhere that you looked, so I figured that kind of made sense to me. Whenever I'm junk journaling and I put photos down, I like to kind of label what the photo is. So that first place that we went to on our first day was Lanikai Pillbox Trail. That was the view on our hike. It was beautiful, and it was definitely not the easiest hike because it's not paved or anything. It's pretty steep as you start, but so worth it because the view's incredible. We went to Snoopy Surf Shop, like I said. We also went to Waikiki Beach, which was very busy, but still fun and worth a visit since it had been our first time to Hawaii. And then for the business card, I wanted to just note down that this place had really great coffee and really great malasadas because we had gone there several days of the trip. Just finishing off these first two pages with a couple decorative stickers and adding little hearts and doodles wherever I feel like I could fill in the space a little bit better. That's always my little finishing touch whenever I've put down like the basics for a spread. Now moving on to finishing day 1 and then starting day 2. During this trip, I collected literally every single bit and bob. If I saw a sticker, I bought it. If there was a receipt, I kept it. A business card, I snatched it. And so I had a lot of stickers to flip through to decide how I wanted to decorate this page. But like I had shown and mentioned, we had gone to Snoopy Surf Shop. They actually have 2 locations on Oahu, which didn't know until I was planning this trip. So we did visit both. But this one we spent more time in, I think, and I was more amazed by because it was our first Snoopy Surf Shop, experience ever, and there was so much cute stuff. Snoopy is not like my favorite, cartoon character or anything like that, but it is my best friend's, and so I was like, we have to get both of these into the trip. And so one of the stickers that I bought from the Snoopy Surf Shop, I stuck on this page. And then I'm also noting the highlights of what we did on day 1 that I didn't get to on the first page. So coffee at Maleko's, we did the hike that I mentioned, we had brunch at Over Easy, that was so good, but we could not finish the food, the portions were insane. Snoopy Surf Shop, which I've said a bunch of times, we also went to Waikiki Beach, and then I actually ran out of space, so I couldn't even write that I went to Waikiki Brewing Company for dinner, but I had already done that on the first page. So that's just what happens when there's too much junk and you did so much stuff that you can't fit it all into the spread, but that's okay. I wanted to also note here that we had gone to the ABC store for the first time on the first day, and I was obsessed. I wanted to spend hours in there. The Sanrio stuff, we bought towels, such a good, cool souvenir place. Amazing, I love it. They got drinks, they got snacks. I wish we had those here. They were incredible. So just finishing off my day 1 recap with, again, more doodles and just like little finishing touches. So on day 2, I wanted to kind of tie in that paper and pattern from that first page because I hadn't used it on this page yet. I also stuck down some of this brown crinkly paper just to serve as like a background. And I stuck down the sticker that says Woke Up in Paradise. I bought this in Hawaii from like a coffee shop. It was literally every single day, like very representative of our trip. Every day I was just waking up in paradise. And to me, Hawaii is paradise because I love the beach, I love the ocean, I love just hanging out in the sunshine and photosynthesizing. So this was like my dream trip basically. I put down some washi tape and then I wanted to commemorate or symbolize, that seems a little dramatic, but I wanted to show that we went to the farmer's market on our second day. That was our first stop, and we had breakfast there. I had an acai bowl, I ate fresh mango. Obviously, Hawaii is far away from Canada, so their flora is totally different, and so they had so many, obviously local, delicious fruit and beautiful tropical flowers that we don't have here, and so it was just nice to walk around the farmer's market. On our way to the hike that we were going to do, we stopped by this lookout. This is the Halona Blowhole. Beautiful, stunning. It was extremely windy. I thought my phone was going to fly away, but I had to get the footage and I had to get the pictures and videos to show you guys how pretty it was. Like I said, we were on our way to a hike, so the hike that we did this day is called the Makapuu Lighthouse Trail. This was easier than the hike that we did yesterday because the whole thing was paved, but there's no shade, so it was extremely hot, but worth it because you can see the view. And that's what I really like about the hikes that we did, was that you didn't have to hike all the way to the top to be able to get the payoff of looking at a beautiful, lighthouse in this case, or the ocean or whatever it is. You could see it as you were doing the hike. So I really, really like that because it's hard for me to feel like this hike is worth it, and me sweating buckets is worth it because I'm like, what am I doing it for? To look at trees? No, in Hawaii, it was to look at the ocean every single step of the way. We spent our afternoon at Sandy Beach, which is definitely not a tourist beach. The waves were crazy, so we did not swim. We were just like hanging by the water. We also explored the tide pools a little bit, so I saw a pink crab, and then we ended our little afternoon with some shaved ice from a truck that was parked there. The flavors we got were lilikoi and watermelon, and it was delicious. I wanted to add some little doodles of our treats that we had on this day, so I'm drawing shaved ice here. And then up top, I'm also going to add a little picture of the acai bowl that I had, which you can see here. It was beautiful. I'm gonna tell you right now, the acai bowls here do not look like that. And if they do, it costs like 30 bucks. And this one did not cost 30 bucks. So it was delicious and it was worth every single penny, knowing that everything was probably pretty local. And then, of course, as always, I'm adding my little finishing touches, some stickers, some doodles, a little bit more washi tape up at the top. And once again, as I'm finishing up the spread, I am realizing that I ran out of space to put everything that I wanted to include in the spread, like the food, the amazing food that we had on this day. Hawaii was really just like a foodie trip. We ate so much good food and it was incredible, but I didn't get to include it on this spread. And instead of extending the spread another page again, I decided that I would just later do like a foodie spread at the end of all these Hawaii pages. So those are my first 2 days in Hawaii in my junk journal. I hope that you enjoyed this little video, and I will see you guys in part 2.